Mic check, mic check. So yeah, it sounds like I'm sounding good. Oh, I forgot to grab my phone charger so I can look at any comments that come in. So I'm going to grab my phone charger real quick so I can see those. I'm recording video for editing later. So since I'm recording video for editing later, uh, I don't want to have the chat scrolling across the screen. So I'll be right back. I'm back. Hello, 8 people. It says I got 8 people in the room on my phone. I'm going to click on that and see if I missed any comments real good. Cynthia Shore said, all right. Anderson said something I can't probably pronounce because I don't speak Spanish. Modern Prospector says the volume is very low. Let me move the mic a little bit closer to me and that might help. That might be a little bit too low right there. Let me see. Adjustments. How's that? How's the volume now? I got 12 people in there. Let me change this chat to live chat. Matthew Kocher says, what's up? What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? So, the last couple times I've carved on this stone, I haven't been live. And I had some really big issues with my live software not too long ago. So I reset everything to the beginning. Whoops. What happened to that screen? That screen's supposed to be there. Let me fix this screen real quick. It's not supposed to look like that. Oh, it dropped the other camera. Alright, let me put you guys back on me for a second. Yep, it says that my other camera is not connected. Let's try it now. Thank you very much for saying no sound. When I switched my screens, apparently the sound wasn't on. So sorry about that, and thank you. Appreciate that, Kim. So what I was saying is where I left off here, I wasn't actually live. The video hasn't been produced yet, but it will be. And what I plan on doing is finishing up making this area right here, expose some of that green color and make it nice and smooth, and fix the crevice area right here that has sort of a notch in it. You can see it when it's dry, but when it's wet, you really can't. But I really want the stone to come out nice. This is going to whoever wins the drawing here right after New Year's. Actually, since these fingers are going to be wet the whole time, I'm going to put a glove on my hand. Stone's showing some nice layers of color that can be brought out of it. Some greens, some gold and orange. Now I'm using a Varencore burr, and this is a 325 to 400. And with all of the Varencore burrs, one of the things you want to do is you don't want to use a lot of pressure. You want to let the burr do as much of the work as possible. You just sort of want to draw with the burr and try and not make any flat spots that, you know, aren't supposed to be there. The weather turned super cold on me there for a while, and I wasn't able to get the video produced and edited and up that I wanted to last week, so that's what I'm recording right now with you guys. A few hours of carving agate like this ends up turning into 10 and 15 hours worth of video editing, I've found out. Of course, I still am very novice at the video editing part, so it's not like I'm super amazing at it. I have to edit stuff a couple of times for myself to be happy with it. sometimes I just squeeze the flex shaft way too hard, and I don't really need to squeeze it that hard. I just need to grip it, and my grip is like I'm fighting against it instead of just holding on to it. It's not good at all for the carpal tunnel in the wrists and all that, the tendons. And so if you do that and you find yourself doing that, try and focus on not and stop doing it. Like I'm trying to start focusing on not and stop doing it. How you doing, Chuck? Happy Turkey Day, soon to be, he says. Cynthia says happy Thanksgiving, and my family doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving anymore. And I think I'm gonna do a video about that here probably tomorrow. I'll probably shoot a video about it and have it uploaded probably the day before. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing about Thanksgiving. I'm just shoot a video on why my family doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving. Of all the holidays we will celebrate, that's the one that we don't. I got some nice oranges starting to appear over here in this section. See what that looks like dry. Chuck P says whatever works. Yeah, my family's not even together on what's going to be Thanksgiving. They're down at Disney World enjoying their season passes. And I'm up here trying to get some work done, trying to finish out this stone. I also plan on putting some of my stuff up for sale because we are apparently, no matter what, moving one way or another. And I have too many rocks and just too much good stuff I need to liquidate. Because wherever I end up going, which is I'm not going to have room for all of this. I'm not going to be able to carry it all around with me over and over again. If I can't get a shop set up, then I just have way too many rocks to be my own personal collection. So I'm going to be putting a whole bunch of stuff up for sale soon. Starting as soon as I get done on the video of why my family doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving. Still watch football. Not too often, but will. See, I try to draw the transitions and the way I think the stone should flow with the color on it, with the burr. Once I have a pretty good idea of where the color is going to be inside of there, I don't want to use too aggressive of a burr. I myself don't, because I'm not that great at carving fire agate yet. So I want to prevent any mistakes of, like, you can't put it back. You can take more off, but you can't put it back on type of mentality. So that's why I'm using this 325 to 400. And it's doing a good job. I can see it exposing some more, and I can see when I dry the stone, I can see how I've changed the area I'm working on. I can see how that pit has gotten smaller, how this color is a little bit more to the top, and how that like white salt almost spray of agate that's on top of the color of the orange and green right here is starting to go away. And that's really what I'm working for right now. I'm working for this area right here to be sort of finished a little bit better. I might even come and do the sides of this a little bit more, but it seems sort of all right now. Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep working this edge like I just was, but I wanted to give you a good explanation and have a good explanation on video of exactly what I'm going for while I'm doing this. And if I haven't said it yet, if you want your opportunity to, I probably won't watch football to tell you the truth, Chuck. Here I'll tell you right now. This stream I did the other night should have given everybody a pretty big clue, but my freaking mouse is not wanting to work properly. I think it's because I got the ball wet. Now the laser's not seeing it. There we go. So that game Fortnite, man, that since my son got me into that game is absolutely ridiculous for me. Like the one of the reasons I like playing the game so much is because it gets my brain firing. You know, like I get adrenaline rushes and I start like breathing hard while I'm playing and stuff. And even when I'm playing bad, even when I'm getting my butt kicked, that game is like such a ridiculous dopamine dump in the brain. I have a great time at it. So if I have free time on Thursday, that's probably what I'll do. I probably won't even watch football. I don't even know who's playing anymore. I catch highlights every now and then. I used to really love it, but now I just, I still like it, but it's just sort of an every now and then thing. It's not something that really matters in my world anymore. Uh, Things aren't easy enough for me for that to be something that matters in my world right now. uh, Let me see. Go back to scene 2. Cynthia Shore said, "What about Minecraft?" Yeah, Minecraft doesn't do it for me. It does it for my kids, though. My kids really like Minecraft. That's one of their favorites. I would much rather be doing this than playing Minecraft. I even went and tried to play some Call of Duty because a new one was coming out. I was thinking maybe it was just that's what video games did to me, and I hadn't played video games in so long that maybe video games are just making me feel like that. And then I go and try and play some other video games, and it's not. It's absolutely the multi-level ability of that game. It's the building and the fighting and the quickness of it. And Call of Duty is like, it's not the same thing. It's okay. It's a little bit fun, but it's definitely not near on the level of brain activity for me that Fortnite is. Fortnite's just a whole nother level because of the whole building structures and stuff in the middle of fighting with people. In the middle of trying to eliminate them. They don't like the word kill in that game. They're like, we eliminate, we don't kill. Come on, dude, it's a video game. Like, Like I said, I'm just sort of drawing with this burr. I'm not trying to force it. I'm just going over the area and trying to keep some small circular motions, trying to make it to where I don't have a flat spot like that's not supposed to be a flat spot, where the color's not going to show up right. Direction is very important. The direction of the stone is super important in fire agate for you to get the color to show up properly. It's actually a perfect day for me to be carving this stone out here because it is super shady and a little bit cloudy, but not rainy at all. And my lights are working perfect in this lighting. Trying to get that little dot, that little divot I had inside of that crease right there gone. One of the things about working with these hard burrs is before you move from one of these Varancore hard burrs to a soft burr, you really want to have your nicks and your scratches for the most part gone, like your stuff like these little lines right here that are in there. If you're not going to be trying to polish those lines, or you have, how do I say this properly? The if you have those lines in it, the burrs, the soft burrs, are not going to be able to polish inside of those lines. So you're going to have to either use discs, or you're probably not going to polish the lines as well as good as you were going to polish the rest of the stone. So you really want to sort of avoid that if at all possible. So I like to have smooth transitions without any divots or pits in it, because those smooth transitions, which that divot looks like it's about gone, without any divots or pits in them, mean that the softer Nova Point burrs will be able to polish them. And these are the best and easiest way to get a good polish on the fire agate. So I really like gemstones too. Conversation in the chat. So this is really starting to look good in that area right there. I have a little bit of a flat spot on the crease right there, but also it looks like there's a better color. Oh no, it looks like I might have went through the green on that one area, and it's some red underneath of that, or some orange. But it's really in the crease, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that just yet. What I am going to do is there's still this white salt spray on top of brown right along this area in that crease. So I'm going to keep working the upper section of this stone and this hump over here, trying to get it to expose a little bit more and be the shape I want it to be, and the colors, and get the white sort of salty looking spray. I mean, this section you can see where we got that really neon green, and we're just trying to pretty much get through the browns and make it right to where that neon green is. At the same time, the neon green is going to be running in the same pattern for the most part, that we see in the colorful agate right there. So you want to not change the shape so much as just reduce it the same shape it is. Trying to make sure that the stone is directed right towards the camera. It's starting to give me a neck ache. Wesley Madison says, I like your prospecting vids and your carving vids way better than your Fortnite vids. Yeah, that's understandable. I learned something about YouTuber. I have learned something about YouTube, and one of the things is that the making entertaining videos is more important towards the growth of the channel than not making any videos until I can make something that fits inside of the niche. So if I make Fortnite videos, but most of my viewership doesn't like it, but it attracts 15 or to 100 more people that subscribe and like the channel over the long run for that and the gem carving, it's actually a little bit worth the risk. Um, the whole thing is that the channel is nowhere near self-sufficient. Selling some of the gemstones has really helped, but getting the channel to be self-sufficient would make it to where I can do a lot more prospecting videos. If I didn't have to worry about financing, I would be out prospecting nonstop because digging is one of my favorite things. I don't even like cleaning the stuff and selling it so much. I like hoarding the stuff I really like, and I'd rather just give away everything else if I was, financially like that, but I'm not. So if I could make the channel to where it was making plenty of money per video, then I would just be out digging all the time. Yet I know channels like Explore With Us who have 300 something thousand subscribers and a Patreon, and they are still in the position of, you know, talking about how difficult it is just for them to go and do the stuff that they're doing. And the stuff that they're doing is traveling to abandoned spots and showing people, you know, what's in the abandoned spots. The stuff I'm doing is a little bit more expensive, if not more intensive. Now I'll get back to carving. Hi, y'all, said America Died. Wesley Madison said, I quit gaming after World of Warcraft. That's funny. I quit playing games so I could scratch better. When I had right after my second child was born, I quit playing video games for the most part so I could scratch better. And I do scratch much better. But dang, I tell you what, Fortnite hits me in the brain like no other game. Chuck P said, "Exploring with Josh?" Question mark. No, the channel I was talking about is called Explore With Us. They're out in the desert in California and Arizona and stuff like that. They got some pretty cool videos, but they're just, you know, they're exploring places. They're good at making videos. All right, I'm gonna get back to carving on this stone. I'm still working this section right here, this area, trying to expose the color underneath that to get it to closer to that. And like I said, have smooth transitions from one spot to the next, nice and smooth on the... Oh no, are you kidding me? That tells you how cold I've let the stone get, to tell you the truth. The stone just completely popped off the dop on me. Now I gotta set my dop back up, but I can still carve on this stone, no problem. 1 second. Alright, I got a dop set back up. It'll be melt and all that. Chuck P says, okay, Josh has 3.3 million subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers. And I don't think I would get to 3 million subscribers if you gave me 20 more years, if I just made videos the way I'm making videos, and even if I would just kept going out to places and making videos. I don't think I'd ever get there. But, you know, that is possible if I branch out and I do videos about more stuff that I'm interested in, and not just videos about rock hounding, which the channel's sort of been like that for a while. You know, I've done review videos and oh, this happened to me videos and don't trust that guy videos, which I could make a couple more of those. I have people in the rock hounding world talking bad about me with using lies, which is, it's funny because the people that are using lies, I have video evidence and text evidence, so it's really sort of hilarious to me. But I've just ignored all that stuff and just tried to focus on real life. Figure all that drama doesn't matter that much. So just acting like that drama doesn't even exist, tell you the truth. And it hasn't in my world, except in my head, knowing that it's out there and that these people are saying these things. Doesn't really matter. That I know of, those people will never be able to affect my life. May my enemies live long and see me prosper. Or is it watch me prosper? It's something like that. Some dude said it, some other dude wrote it down, and then some dude told me it, and it's very profound, and now I'm a rhymer. I'm an MC. Rhymer. How whack was that? This stone's probably going to have 20 hours in it when I'm done. It's going to be worth it though. It's a big stone. And I'd rather put a little bit more time into it and get it just right than rush it and just screw it up real bad. Get that dry again and take a look at it. I tell you what though, that back is so slick on my gloves because I polished it that I can't wait for the dop to get right and I can dop the stone again. Put the stone on it for about 10 or 15 minutes, should warm it up. Yep, thinking about transitions again. How this piece transitions over to this piece. This is what I love about this shape of burr though, is it's really good for drawing and smoothing and Varancourt burrs in general are like really smooth to work with as opposed to other burrs. Other burrs have sort of a jumpy feel about them that Varancourt burrs just don't have. Oops. Got that little white spot still in there, not quite coming out, but it looks like it's right on top of everything. And there's a new sort of couple of gashes right into it. I didn't see right in that indention. You got, oh gosh, my water trough's full. I gotta dump my water. Get rid of this bucket. Somebody asked what hand tool I'm using. The hand tool I'm using is a Prodigy Flex Shaft. I bought it from Rio Grande. It's like 80 something dollars. I've shown it on a couple of different videos. So I have a few little scratch divots in the transition from this flat area going up into the little mounds of color right here. Might be hard to see the water dripping on them, but I definitely see them right there. This point is just small enough it should be able to fix them. Now I don't just run over those. I run over them, I do small circles sort of next to them and the flat next to them, and then I go and draw up on the transition to the next bitroidal fire agate section. Trying to get everything to flow smoothly with color from one section to another. No tool marks, no divots, no lines. Like trying to carve like that is rather important for your finished product to be really great looking. You always want to be working to have, the best finished product you can if at all possible. Still have that white spot on top of the colored agate right here, which makes me think I still have to have those little scratches inside of the transition once again, right where I got my point running right now. Dry it off and check it out again and make sure I'm not leaving new tool marks. And it's starting to look pretty good. There's still a couple of those little divots there, and I still have some white agate running across that transition right there, but at this point I'm not so much worried about the white sort of peppered agate on top of there. It's going to come out sooner or later when I'm trying to get down to the color, whether with this burr or another burr. The shape is really, really what I'm focused on, and the imperfections inside of that shape. So I want to keep working this area and that transition right there so I can get rid of those little spots, little chips. If I was using a more aggressive burr, that stuff would get out of there faster, but me not being a master, still being a novice, that would also give me the opportunity of carving too far and losing the color, and that's really what I'm trying to avoid, is the carving too far and losing the color. It really seems like you can't do that till all of a sudden you've done it and you're like, you can't put it back. Patience to the point of, if you're getting frustrated, if it's getting too difficult, if you just are not liking what you're doing, then stop, put everything down, and do something else. Being in the proper frame of mind and patient while you're carving this is definitely going to give you a much better finished product. And some art cannot be forced. Somebody asked for opals. That or he's trying to sell opals. Not sure which one. Wax is starting to warm up. Thank you, I got nuggets. Yes, this nice fire agate is going to be up for raffle. If you didn't know that, you can check out my Etsy store. I got raffle tickets for sale in different forms and fashions on how you can win this stone I'm carving right here at the end of the year. Right at the beginning of the new year, I'm going to be doing a video where I pick the winner of this stone and a couple other cool items. Ugh. I should have just turned everything a little bit. Wow, that appeared a really nice green really fast in that one section right there. Makes me hesitant to carve through that green instead of just bringing it out with some polishes. Let's check out my little imperfection zone again. Whoops, I just got my dripped my towel right in the water trough. That's not good. Getting really close, at least in this section. in that section. I got them nuggets. Says nice man. Giving is good. Yeah, this is not so much giving. This is an opportunity to win. It's a raffle. It's a lottery. So you got to buy a ticket or end up being given a ticket or something like that in order to be into it. Look at that. My wax is starting to get hot. Now I need to set this stone on there and let it dry a bit before I can get the wax to adhere to it. Let me dry it off real fast. Definitely have some of that color appearing more. Got rid of the dimples and the divots that were on that side and right in here. That's good. So I can move on from that, and what I want to do is I want to make the, see how this is like this smooth right here on this section going down here. I want to make that like that all over the stone, and get it as close to the color, like really close to the color. And then after I do that, I'll end up taking it to its polishes. So that's going to take me a couple of hours at least, though. And I shouldn't have got it wet again. It's like instinct for me. Hello, Michael Freeland. Michelle Freeland. Sorry. I spell horribly. Went down and read the wrong word and then saw the picture. I was like, oh, I'm wrong. I'm a dummy. I do dummy stuff sometimes. You have to forgive me. Let's see. Now I have my DOP right here. Now I can't be having it get any water in it. Waxes. My water's running so hard that even when I turn it all the way off, it's dripping this fast. So, whoa, oh, oh, oh. My stick is starting to slip there. All right. That's totally splashing over here. I guess I got to turn my water off for a minute or put a bucket on it. There we go. There's some quick thinking by me. Still on camera shot too. Look at that. So I got 5 of you still hanging out with me. I am going to go and get myself something to drink real quick. This stone right here needs to get warm in order for the DOP wax to adhere to it. So I'm going to let this stone warm up for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I will be right back here in just a minute or two. Alrighty, see what this stone feels like. It's not quite there. It's almost there. Give it a minute or two more. So yeah, I guess that's the proper view for give it a minute or two more. Let me look at the phone and see what people have been saying. Kim McCurdy, I always think of questions, but if I wait long enough, you answer them. You're a good teacher. Now if you could just teach me how to type. I don't even type good. I still do this. I type faster like this. Like if I'm gonna be, yeah, I still type horribly. It's also because I was working on a Mac and I went from a Macintosh to this MSI, because this MSI has all the power to do all the stuff I want to do, and Mac would have cost me like $3,000 more to have that will do what this thing can do, and I can upgrade it really well. So the keyboards are different on the Mac and the MSI. The MSI keyboard is bigger. It's a SteelSeries keyboard. It's longer. So when I first started typing on it, man, I was mishitting all kinds of stuff to where I went back to hunting and pecking like this. Ale Grampito de Prado says, De Pedras, Opals Brazil. Maybe he's got opals or he likes opals. Probably trying to sell them. Thanks for being here, Chuck. Got 5 people in the room at the moment. I'm about to dop this stone again and then get back to carving it. I know, like, live carving a stone itself is not super entertaining. Video games are more entertaining. keeps a bigger crowd for a good time, that's for sure. Let me put this on, and I don't even think anybody that was in the room watching that day, for the most part, was even people playing that are into video games. I think most of the people watching that day were not people that watch my channel much. I think they were like video game youngsters, but for the most part. Get my fingers wet so I don't burn myself. I could have put a little bit more wax on the stone, to tell you the truth. Now I'll turn that off. I definitely got a little bit of wax in an area I didn't want to, but not really that big of a deal. All that stuff's, whoops, I'm completely off camera shot because of the dripping. Let me move all this stuff, I can get back in the camera shot. Oh, damn it. Alrighty. Now that that's all back and dopped again, the wax is still a bit soft, but it is attached nicely to that polished bottom. I don't really need this coat right now. Take that off. Hopefully there's not enough water to affect that pedal. Alrighty then. Don't want to knock any of this stuff down. Now, pretty sure that underneath that white and that red, there's going to be some color. Pretty sure about that, so I'm going to start by shaping that, and then I'm going to sort of try and get these areas shaped in with them. Gripping it too hard again. I'm concentrating on trying to make this area of green right here sort of exposed where this line is. So I'm trying to sort of carve that and make it smooth to where it's green at all angles. And I'm concentrating so hard on it that I'm gripping the handle just really, really hard. Way too hard. Way harder than I need to. 4 people in the room. Proven once again that I should just go ahead and keep on editing these videos and live streaming video games. Keep making quality content. Looking pretty good underneath the gloss. A couple of little tool marks there, but I think those will come out with the finishing polish. These creases right there, though. Don't want to lose any color, that's for sure. But there are other layers. Should be more better layers. At the same time, I've lost color before and then not been able to get anything else back, so I'm indecisive at the moment on how to proceed in that area, but I really don't like that line that's in the agate right there. So I definitely want to work on getting that line out. And down here also, those are not really on the color at the moment, so I could possibly expose some more color trying to get that line out of there. There, you can see it again. It is right at the color line. This area of the process is the most tedious, but arguably some of the most important. Because this is how you're getting your stone ready for this is a pre-polish. The pre-polish isn't good, the final polish is going to have flaws all in it. Best to start with a good foundation. And I've got somebody running lawnmower machine right around me. Color in fire agate can be so different from one stone to another, from how the color appears to how the agate is. So is it metallic color, or is it like just a light ghosty color, or is it So this video will probably be much more interesting once I get a chance to edit it all down, condense it, educational format it. Got still 4 people in the room. For me, it's hard to be joking and jovial when I'm so hard focused on something. There's almost so much to take off there. I almost think about changing the bird, but I don't want to mess it up. I don't. Sometimes I have some amazing colors that appear when you're using a super aggressive bird and they're gone. You can't get them back. This bird is right between like aggressive and not aggressive enough. So I'm putting my head on the camera direction. Keep my dome out of the shot. Whoops, dropping it. This side has all my broken layers. Backside has some too. And they really sort of make me wonder what I should do about them. Do I risk losing the color and trying to smooth them out, or I just get areas like this where there's just more broken layers? Is at a different angle and some color underneath. Huh. I'm not sure. Definitely not sure. I know this whole area has to be smooth though. This whole area does. There's definitely color underneath that. Well, maybe not. Maybe there's not color underneath of it. But it still needs to be smooth so it can be carved properly. Yeah, there's a lot of areas over here that need some help real quick. One of those things of doing something fast or doing something properly. Yeah, this one isn't aggressive enough for what I'm trying to do here, so... Oh, where is the tool? I'm going to switch this burr out. There's 6 people in the room. Howdy, 6 people. Whoa, as soon as I find the tool, it looks... Oh, there it is. I haven't seen any text come through on my screen in a while. I might need to refresh my browser. But this one is definitely not aggressive enough, this 325 to 400. Not for the scratches I want to take out now. Switching out something a little bit more aggressive real fast. Just for a minute. And what I'm going to do is shape this section down and get rid of some of these lines that are here and get through that white layer. And except over here, apparently I don't want to go through that white layer over there because that's all there is. Oh yeah, I can see right through that. So this section right here either has to go. Yeah, this section either has to go or I just have to be happy with what's on top. But I definitely want to shape it out a little bit better. And that's what I'm going to do. Getting there. Gotten all silent. Now I'm just cutting. 7 people in the room. How you doing, 7 people? What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually close this and open it up again real quick. I'm trying to smooth out areas that have divots and lines and stuff that would make the shine not be that great. Inside of the stone, stuff that would make the light not play properly off of it. And it is time consuming, that's for sure. That's how a little piece like flake and break off there. Now I'm thinking I'm going to end up taking out a bunch of this edge right here, either with a wheel or with a hand tool. Not sure which. This whole edge over here is starting to drive me a little bit nuts. It's not really cutting out the way I thought it would, and I'm not saying cut when I should just mean like frickin' sand. I was just trying to sort of sand this line out without losing any of the color above it. But it seems like the more I work it, the more that the line's not going away. It's just getting deeper. Got a mosquito trying to get me. Alright. That area I can go over with an inverted cone. That still has some green on it I want to save. I got orange coming out right here. And this bronze sort of on top. So I'm just going to keep sanding this area where the bronze is. Hi, Anita Phillips. That's alright. The more I do this, the more I realize how boring this is for you guys, and that it's just better that I go ahead and shoot it and cut it and edit it and then put it up, because then you know it's a 15, 20 minute, maybe an hour long video that is educational and enjoyable. Like this, it's a lot of sitting there and watching and waiting, and it's not very fun, I don't think. So, I mean, how long has this been going? Like a couple of hours? I can't tell this direction. Let's see this direction. Oh, it doesn't tell me how long I've been going anymore. It started about 1 apparently. So it's only been going for like an hour. It's felt like an eternity. That's what I think you guys like. That's how I feel about it. I feel like you guys have been waiting an eternity. It is a lot easier just windowing them if you just go ahead and put them on a machine and grind them till you see some color and then throw them in a tumbler. But that's for quick and easy sales, not for like the artistry of pulling the best thing you can possibly pull out of the stone. In order to do that, you don't want your stone to ever hit a tumbler if you really want to pull out the best color possible in it. And the more you carve, the better you get at it, the better the finished product comes out. Dry this up again and check on it. I'm constantly drying the stone and looking at it. Definitely going to end up using my inverted cone in this area right here to finish that area out with the lines and the undercutting of the color right there. And I'm going to have to use my tapered point inside of this hollow. But overall, the stone is starting to take a better shape. One area got hit so bad it had so many little creases in it, I just decided to come back and just start grinding on it real quick. Just sort of made an impulsive decision. Give me an idea of what's going on a little bit deeper in the stone. See, now, the thing about wanting to polish all of this out properly, and is also I want to get rid of some of these edges, like these edges down here. I can run my finger across them. I can feel that they're sort of sharp and snaggy. If I use one of these soft burrs on this, the edge is going to carve into the soft burr. I went over that recently in one of the videos, so I definitely still need to get all of these edges gone as much as possible, make everything smooth so I can go over it with soft burrs. Seven people in the room. Howdy, 7 people. I shouldn't have skipped yoga today. That's what my shoulder and my back are telling me. I skipped doing yoga. I started recently this morning. So I woke up late and I decided not to do it, and now I regret that decision. Absolutely and totally regret that decision. I can rectify that after I get done with this live stream, though. Definitely exposing more color on this stone. Getting some of that shaping done. Sure you guys can see the color appearing in it. Five people in the room. Oh man, I am torquing my shoulder or something, It's killing me right now doing this. I'm not sure how much longer I got on this live stream with my shoulder hurting the way it is doing this, but I need to get this stone finished. Definitely need to get this stone finished, but it's a lot easier for me to work when I can work in sessions, you know, 20, 30 minutes, put it down, go do something else for 5 or 10 minutes, stretch or something, come back, work for another 20, 30 minutes. Those sort of sessions work out really well for me. I get a lot more done like that than when I just try and marathon it. When I try and marathon it, by the time I get up, I'm like sore in certain spots and feeling burnt out. But it's sort of hard to do a live stream and not be in front of the camera or doing any other work for long periods of time. That just doesn't really work. 5 people in the room. Time's at 2 o'clock. I should have ate my lunch before I started this. That would have been a good idea. Definitely have some greens and yellows starting to appear underneath this bronze. It looks like it's really on top of the bronze. Or in between layers of bronze, I should say. It looks like it's in between layers of bronze. And it might be thin and easy to cut through. So I'm very tenderly exposing it. Actually, on this section, I'm almost ready to move on to a gentler burr to finish exposing the color. Green and bronze and yellow and orange all showing up right in this section. Give it a dry and look at it. I mean, as far as the transitional areas, the high and low points, like this is looking really good through there. This, on the other hand, right in there, that's not looking so hot, but it's also looking like there's not a lot I can do about that. There's not a lot of area. It's just some cracks. It's sort of a pain in the butt to get your polishing paste and stuff when they get stuck in there out of them. But for how deep that is and the way they are, I almost have to leave them at least until later and make a decision later with them. 6 people in the room. Hey, 6 people. Ooh. That was really sharp on my finger right there. I gotta make sure I hold the bottom of that stone right there. Right there, man. That thing was... not doing what I want it to. Oh, somebody's calling me. Hello? Hello? Not buying anything. 7 people in the room. Hey, 7 people. I need to dump my water super fast. It's super full. Polo Rico said, thanks for sharing. Don't cut or edit, please. Oh, I definitely am going to end up doing that. Caleb Time says, very nice. Jason Smock says, going to Siesta Mine on Friday. I heard about the mine from you. Big thanks. Brian Cunningham said, phone's ringing. LOL. Damn telemarketers. Exactly what that was, too, Brian. That was totally telemarketers. Absolutely. Jason, good luck at the Siesta Mine. I have heard that, I forget his name, the gentleman that runs it, but I had heard that he's been on a good pocket recently. So I wish you fantastic and amazing luck. I hope that it turns out really good for you. I've been hearing good things recently about it. So, and this stone is getting closer. I got out a lot of those creases in here and exposed some other color bars that are in this section right here. I still have a bunch more to go to get it to where I want it to, but this, I want to show you something, is this finish right here. This is a 600 from Diamond Pacific. This is the 600 centered burr from Diamond Pacific. I'm going to put on a 600 from Varencore, and I'm going to polish a section on here just so you can see the difference in what a 600 from Varencore's finish looks like and a 600 from the Diamond, what Diamond Pacific carries in their centered burrs look like, because the 600 to 800, although it does say 600 to 800 from Varencore, the finish is just light years away. The finish on the Diamond Pacific, I've said this before too, is much more of a 200 or 325 even, to tell you the truth. Where's a good spot to pick? I'll just pick this edge right here. I wonder if that's enough that it picked it up yet. I can still see some of the scarring in it from, but yeah, you can totally see the difference. That's dry now, and you can see the 600 up here from Diamond Pacific, and that's the 600 down here from Varencore. And the Varencore, it is much, much finer. I mean, so much finer than the 600 from Diamond Pacific. The Diamond Pacific 600 is like a 200 from Varencore. Totally is too, man. The problem with this big one though is it doesn't get into the crease is good enough for me, so I'm not going to be leaving this big 600 on here. I'm going to be switching this out and going back to a Varencore burr that's, let's see, 325, 400 is probably what I'm going to go to. Right here, 325, 400 bag. Jason Smock said, "Gotta like the good, gotta like good new pockets." Yeah, they don't have to be new. Just good pockets are all that really matter on that one, Jason. But I agree with you. You gotta like it when they're hitting it big. Here's a bullet-shaped 325 to 400. And this with some Nova points is enough to actually finish a stone. You don't even have to go to a 600 if you don't want to, but I definitely like the finish on the 800s, on the 6 to 800. Makes it the amount that you use your Nova points a lot less. Even though when I use even a 600 to 800 hard Varencore, when I finish in the stone, I still end up going backwards and going to the 280 Nova point to help me get rid of any tool marks I might have left behind on accident. This area of the stone's starting to show up pretty good. I got some good yellows and greens really appearing. Sunlight's trying to sneak in. Yep, his name is Dawn. It's been a while since I've been out there. But I have so much really good fire agate. Of course, I'm finding out what I think is really good fire agate and what people that don't know what really good fire agate is are two different things, because some of these people think they need to see that color right on top and they just don't understand. Most of your best color is not going to be showing right on top of the fire agate. It's going to be in there. which if you ever dig with me and you end up breaking some pieces and I'm yelling at you about not doing this and not doing that so the pieces don't end up getting broken, then you end up shattering it. They always seem to shatter right through the best color, and you see what you could have had. What you might get some little pieces of. At that moment, I'm not even looking for imperfections. I'm just sort of chasing color. Should be chasing some imperfections. Definitely the best way to work a stone is from one side to another. Sometimes you do some jumping around, but that could end up being a big old time waster. Tell you what, somebody near me has started barbecuing, and I'm starving. The stone is definitely looking better than when we started. From a straight-on angle, I can see color running from edge to edge and right through that line. I mean, that's a really good sign. I got yellows and oranges and greens and the brown and bronze you have with a lot of the fire agate. Stone is definitely starting to progress. See what it looks like dry. 4 people in the room. Well, 4 people, why don't you say goodbye to me? I think I'm going to stop and go and get my lunch. And I think it's a much more enjoyable and educational video when I record and then edit and post. But that takes me anywhere from 2 to 6 hours and 8 hours of carving. And goes from anywhere from 2 to 6 to 8 hours of carving. And that work correlates into 10, 20, 30 hours worth of video editing, which usually ends up taking me overall 3 or 4 days, sometimes a week between shooting and editing it. So that's why it takes so long. Here we are on this stone right now, though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom my camera in a little bit, which I meant to make this record and I didn't, which that's upsetting to me somewhat. Let me go and change your view. Didn't mean to get it wet. So this is what it looks like dry. See the colors starting to poke out. Getting some of that smoothness I'm talking about, running from place to place. Getting rid of some of these cracks and crevices and dots. I mean, we're going to have to deal with some of them on a stone this size because of the way that it's come out. But still going to look fantastic. Let's put it under some water. This is where we are so far. It's definitely glowing a lot more than when I got started. You can see some progress that's been happening. And it's a very large stone. That's my thumb. It's a man-sized thumb. Thanks for showing up, Nigel. Appreciate you being here. And I appreciate your comments, Jason Smock. And I will have an edited video up here for you guys in probably about 5 days that will take this stone to the pre-polish stage. Or I'm sorry, we'll take this stone to the polish stage. We'll take it all the way through the pre-polish stage. And right now we're working on the pre-polish stage. Once again, if you want an opportunity to win this stone, I'm working right here in the raffle drawing. There are tickets in my Etsy store. You can find that in the description of not this video, but other videos. And you can also buy a box of rough. And I'm going to have a bunch of other stuff going up for sale all this week. So don't be surprised if you see some sales videos on the channel up here. Sure is a gorgeous looking stone, isn't it? It's going to be a monster. Figure it's around 100 carats when it's done. Alright. You know I love you for watching. Peace, y'all. Bye.